He, she's, theys, and all those who slay. SummerSlam left us stunned, cheering, and for some of us, yelling at our TVs. But now we're going to sit down and talk all about it. Welcome to Kicking Out 2. I'm Michael, and back in the booth with me is the only person whose takes hit harder than Rock hitting Mick Foley with 11 chair shots while his family's watching ringside, Tori. Hey, Tori.
While he was handcuffed. I thought it was 13.
So I looked it up because I was curious. Like, I couldn't get the right number down, and all I found was 11. So
okay, I thought Mick was like 13 times.
Well, it may have felt like 13 times.
Right.
But anyway, today's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to do our normal 3-count stuff. Obviously, with the SummerSlam pay-per-view passing, we're going to talk about some of SummerSlam. There are some stuff we're not going to get in too much detail about just because it's for a subject and we don't want to get into debates and stuff like that. So we're going to leave that be. We'll bring it up, but we're not going to talk in depth about it. And we're also going to talk about the fallout that happened on Raw. Raw was a really good show this week, and so we're going to kind of focus on that too. And not really much happened in the past week in AEW, except for one thing that we will mention. Hey, Isaiah. Hey, Lady Alpha. That we will mention, and that is Dustin did unfortunately lose the title. I do have some more stuff in the news about it, though, so we'll talk more about the aftermath.
I was going to ask, did you see his post today?
I did. So we will talk more about that here in just a moment. But before we get to the news, let's go ahead and hear a little bit from Debbie.
Kicking Out at 2 intern Ace Finley here. And before Michael and Tori hit the ropes and dive into the latest in the world of wrestling, let's tag in one of our show's partners, W Energy. If you're looking to fuel your grind, whether it's late night booking sessions, streaming, or just surviving Monday, W Energy's got your back. No crash, no jitters, just clean focus. Use code KICKINOUT, all one word, at checkout to get 10% off your order. Now let's get back to the show.
Thank you, W. I'm actually trying a new flavor today. I'm trying Dragonade. It was the one that was actually on the little promo there. And it's pretty damn good. So
it is pretty tasty.
Definitely get you some. All right. So
I did do a little bit of checking. These aren't just energy drinks. They're pre-workout.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. And I started drinking it, and I'm like, wow. And Grace is like, what is it? And I gave her the package. She's like, this is pre-workout. Fuck.
Why am I so amped? Why do I want to throw a car?
Literally. Why am I trying to fight somebody that I don't even know? Like, what am I doing?
That's our next W read. If you want to throw a car, drink W.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was like, damn, this is okay.
We're going to talk a lot about SummerSlam here later, but some fun stuff did come up in the news when it came to this. The Ruse of the Century. There's a little bit of information behind it. So, of course, Seth Rollins this past weekend pulled off the greatest work in years, faking a knee injury, complete with crutches, interviews, fooling even his own wife, quote unquote. However, we did find out, though, she was asked by him. There was a very small group of people, and basically it was him, Becky, and Paul, and that was it. Nobody else knew.
That's not true.
Sorry, and their daughter.
Who told her kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
Sold him out immediately.
Said, Daddy's got a pretend boo-boo, but you got to keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody. She immediately went to school and went, hey, my dad's got a pretend boo-boo.
Yeah. Sold him out. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, they started the fake injury obviously during his match with LA Knight last month. They treated it like a serious injury. You did call it, absolutely.
We talked about it too. I'm not going to say we called it, but we're both like, this is really suspect.
Yeah. Well, and I was on the day 2 or night 2 SummerSlam review panel, and I said specifically, like, I agreed with Sped from the run-in. Sped did say he's had some knee surgeries. I've had a knee surgery. And, like, that's not something, like, you don't hear about quickly as far as, like, what's the plan? What are we going to do? And so once we got to, like, the second week and they're like, yeah, we still don't know if he needs surgery or not. Okay. It's been a while. That thing's not that swollen anymore. By now, we should know what's going on. Yeah, so apparently, though, Becky was not pleased because she did not want to have to fool the family and friends and all that, but they wanted to keep it as tight as possible and as small as possible. So, absolutely, even though she wasn't happy with it, sorry, I'm checking something here.
I mean, she cannot be happy with it, but you do what you have to do. I mean, we all were kind of suspect about it, but
all right. Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of suspect of it. It's a situation where, hey, Jillian, welcome in. We got the surprise cash in on CM Punk during night 2. He wins the World Heavyweight title. It's cool when we get worked. I like when I don't know all of the answers and don't know all of the rules. So,
to be fair, when he came out, I thought, okay, they're just gonna tease this. I have money in the bank, blah blah blah. And then he dropped the crutches, and I'm like, son of a bitch, here we go.
Yep.
Okay, so I do want to point out that 2 years ago today, Samoa Joe squashed Serpentico in one of the quickest matches in AEW history, and Nyla Rose is tweeting it every hour.
Hey, hold on real quick for me, okay?
You're good. So yeah, we watched Saturday Art together. We both were kind of like, okay, I saw it. Here we go. But it was fun. It was different. I'll give them credit for keeping the curtain up for everybody. So everyone alive? Everyone alive? Are we good?
All right. Sorry about that.
Fine.
Okay. So another little tidbit to that, though, is they did want to mention that during that segment of him cashing in, Chris Weaver, which was the producer of the WWE Unreal documentary, and Undertaker were both backstage. So even though they haven't been specifically said that there's a season 2, it looks like they're already kind of preparing just in case. So that'd be kind of fun to see. So Randy Orton and I'm already in. No, okay, no, I wasn't. Sorry, I was confused. Because we're talking about Randy Orton in general.
I have no idea what you're doing.
I haven't had enough W today. That's my problem.
Apparently.
Randy Orton Jelly Roll, Voices 2.0 maybe.
Please no.
Voices.
Please God no.
As we've seen, Jelly Roll has performed the opening bit of his music, of Orton's music, the last few times he's been on screen. He approached Orton about doing an official cover of it, and Orton is receptive of that. Back in 23, WWE did try changing his theme, but Orton shut it down completely at that point. So this may gain traction, it may not. From what I can see, it seems like not a lot of people want it, just by what we're seeing in the chat.
Look, I like Jelly Roll. There is a certain sound with Randy's music that Jelly Roll cannot do. I appreciate him. He put up a great effort in the match. I loved it. Stampede was happening. But no, please don't. Let's not. And then let's just keep going.
Let's not and say we didn't.
What are we going to do? Have him do Logan Paul's music next? Are you shitting me?
Speaking of new themes, though, Becky did also get a new theme this weekend.
Which is solid.
The scuttlebutt behind it is that people were still singing her song, which also makes me think we have another heel that people are still singing his song constantly. Are we maybe going to see a change for Seth too? But that's neither here nor there. But this was the whole reason, is that they were tired of people singing the song of the person they're trying to push as a heel. So
here's the problem. Did you hear that pop when Seth came out Monday?
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, they're in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn cheers for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to go there. But They cheer for pretty much everybody. So I don't know that you could have done anything about that. I just, there's certain people who are going to get cheered. It doesn't matter what you do with them.
Yeah,
You could have Roman turn into the biggest heel ever, and he's still going to get cheered.
absolutely. Some details about this one. This is made by a band called the Wonder Years. It does intro, including The Man Has Come Around. Produced outside of Def Rebel, which the original theme, Celtic Invasion, lasted 10 years as her theme music. So,
Damn, really?
yeah, good to see her get a nice little upgrade. Gunther is apparently out. There was a little confusion during the Gunther match because it looked like he went under the table and bladed, and
Because he did.
the announcers were talking about how it looked like he broke his nose. Apparently, that wasn't a slip up of them being confused of where the blood was coming from. It literally looked like he broke his nose because he broke his nose and orbital socket. There was a
But there was no blood coming from the nose.
Well, there was blood all over, and that's to me that was kind of the problem, is that it was up here and it was over here and it's down here. But he is out for injuries. He had a septal hematoma and an orbital blowout fracture confirmed.
Did you just call him?
I called his mama a septal hematoma with an orbital blown out fracture.
Nope. We're just
Nope.
gonna keep going.
Punk hit 2 GTSs to win, obviously. Gunther is out indefinitely. A major blow to WWE's heels power structure right now, because as far as high up heels, we seem to be having issues specifically on that roster.
This is the perfect time. This is where turning Sammy would have been perfect.
And we may still, like the little bit he did on Raw, which we'll talk about after we talk about SummerSlam. That was a little weird. Yeah, Stampede. He was scheduled to take time off for regarding his nose anyway. Speaking of injuries, though, there was a little scare during SummerSlam that Braun Breaker might have been injured. Obviously, he speared CM Punk out of his boots on Monday, so that seems to have been just a hitch in his giddy up. He seems to be fine. But there was absolutely a problem with it because we saw at the end of the night there was the taped up leg when they were doing the big beat down. So it seems like there's nothing there. There's been no real confirmation though, as far as if he did tweak it or if there was an injury. Just he seemed to be fine on Monday. As far as the Dustin Rhodes that we started talking about, the Natural's going to need some time because he suffered a serious injury, needs double knee surgery. So he's expected to at least be out until 2026. He did tweet out though saying that this isn't over for him. So he is saying that if, like, once he gets back on his feet, he's back into training, getting back into it. I personally, from a person who's had one knee done, I'd be okay if he gave it up, because that's going to be a hard road.
I will say, if he doesn't come back, first of all, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care what company it is. Mm-hmm. If he's the first AEW Hall of Famer, I'm fine with it. But stop.
Yeah, a double knee surgery that's going to be a lot to come.
Reconstructive knee surgery.
Yeah, that's a lot to come back from. And he's
okay. I'm being whined at by a puppy dog, so I'll be right back.
Okay, you go right ahead.
Come on.
The ROH title status is uncertain right now, as far as what's going to happen with that. Obviously, he already lost the TNT title, so we're already good there. But we'll be intrigued to see what they do with the ROH side of things, because he was still the tag team champ and still the trios champ. So we'll have to see what happens with that. There was some information as far as the backstage.
No. Fight the dog. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to fight this dog. It's fine.
Give me just a second. Okay. Corey Graves obviously has been kind of replacing Pat McAfee on commentary while Pat McAfee takes a bit of a sabbatical. There's been just some information as far as what the feeling is backstage about it. Obviously, he was out due to burnout and the football season. WWE did expect this. There was a mutual respect remains as far as him taking the time off for his own health. Graves was reportedly frustrated when he was sent to NXT. We remember that story from way back at when. But higher ups see him as an incredible and valuable talent. So this may not be a permanent return. We don't know. But we'll have to see where he goes from here. The women's match at Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Look, if she's there, she better stick her head in here and say hi. I'm going to be mad at her.
I can't.
Not the kid. I'm talking about the other person.
Oh, no. The other person just left it there.
Oh.
Since we're streaming, that we're just doing.
Heck with her.
I will let her know that. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, we talked about off stage here, that their contract concerns are still there. Obviously, their contract is set to expire this weekend. And so there's still question on whether that's going to be renewed or not. They weren't at Raw. They weren't booked. There was mention as far as from Sammy during his promo about their squabble and their issue. So is what it is. There. What do you think?
If they don't get the contract they want, I don't blame them for leaving. Oh my goodness, I'll be right back. Go. Come on. Come on. What do you want there? Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry about that, so, guys. We all sorts of interruptions here to start the show.
I have a dog that's apparently trying to catch hands tonight.
It's a rough day for us all. They would make killing on the indies, absolutely. Obviously, I think any company would be dumb if they didn't pick them up. So we'll just have to wait and see there. They weren't even informed that their deals were expiring. From details that we're hearing from Fightful, WWE's remaining quiet, and so it kind of seems like we're probably just going to see a quiet departure. The Stampede, I'd even be fine with that. I'd be fine if we're just in the dark and they're working out a deal for him to go back down there. I mean, he could run NXT or TNA. Let's be honest about that. He could be a headliner at either one. And he was at TNA for a hot minute. I remember Scarlett being there and made a lot of waves in the Knockouts division. So at least she could wrestle again. That'd be also nice to see because she's an amazing performer, and we never get to see that. Jacob Fatu did an interview talking about his story and his background, and it was enlightening. So I just recommend go listen to it. But he mentioned an emotional backstory on the Breakfast Club, from jail at 18, working overnight shifts at Walmart, to San Diego Comic-Con getting his own action figure. He did some powerful conversations about his dad picking up cans for money, and that's how he was providing for his kids. He said he had his dream realized when he was featured in WWE 2K, that was a major deal for him to see himself in a video game. He is definitely a testament to resilience and legacy and just the American dream in general, because he had nothing.
Right.
So it's great to see where he is. Speaking of other people that started from nothing, though, Eddie Kingston, The Mad King might be returning to his throne pretty quick. He's been out since May of 2024 after his injury with Gabe Kidd. He shared a photo from inside the ring. So it looks like he's back to training, trying to get back into the groove of it. There's no set return date, but at least the wheels seem to be turning. He seems to be trying to get back into it. So hopefully we'll see Eddie Kingston come back. There's a cute little thing at Comic-Con, speaking of Comic-Con, of Willow doing an Eddie Kingston promo, which was very cute to see. So check that out too. Right now he's being slowly trained by Ortiz and Homicide. It's currently who's helping him out with that. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get to talking about SummerSlam. Yeah.
Before we do, shout out to Morgan's youngest child, AJ. Today is their birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, AJ.
I believe they're 14, 15. $17. Oh shit. She's 17.
Oh damn.
So they're 17 and they're just the nicest person, and happy birthday to them.
Cool. All right. Well, night one of SummerSlam started off with a bang. We had Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's where Breaker sustained that reported injury that he had at the time. What do you think of, first of all, Jey and Roman being back together, kind of reigniting that family bond? And what do you think of this team of Braun and Braun?
Braun and Bronson, okay, whatever. You're second. You acted like you were in charge of the group. You're second fiddle to Seth. It's only a matter of time before Braun turns on him because he wants more. I'm a fan of Roman and Jey. There's a lot of story to it, and I felt like there were a lot of things because we were talking about it because we actually got to watch some of the show together for the first time in forever.
Yeah, for night one, I got to hang out at Tori's house, and we sat and watched the first night, so it was cool.
Right. So there were a lot of things that go back to the Jey Roman story. First of all, Jey came out first for their team, which normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, but they were the opening match.
Mm-hmm.
Jey was the first person in the ring. That's not a small thing.
That's not. I did mention that part of it could be because, like, as we saw from the Unreal documentary. Documentary. There we go. Thank you. I had one of those moments.
You're good. The word doesn't sound right?
Yeah, the word did not sound right in my head and came out wrong anyway. So in that, we did see that, Jey does have a tendency to get blown up during that entrance. And so him coming out first and then waiting for Roman's entrance, 10-minute entrance, and then waiting for the bad guys to come in. Obviously gave him some time.
A little recovery time.
Yeah, a little bit of recovery time on that. But still, that's a massive thing for him to be the first thing seen on that pay-per-view. That's a huge thing, especially when Roman is one of those people in the ring with you.
Night one, the first face you see is Jey Uso.
Yeah.
It says a lot.
Yeah, it does. Go ahead.
The little things in the match, like Jey carried most of that match.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roman pushing Jey out of the way for that spear and then letting Jey get the splash, the spear, the pin, whatever. Those are things that Roman a couple of years ago would have never done.
Yeah, this definitely shows a more humble Roman, someone who's more like, I'm here to help protect the family.
Right.
So definitely a different spin on that Roman Reigns character than we've had previously. And not only that, but Roman took a beating too. Like, we don't get to see that often of Roman actually getting hurt pretty good. The spear through the barricade was a great spot, taking both him and Braun both out. I don't know what Bronson's fascination is with Roman shoes, but now he has 2 pairs of them. So it's weird. It is personal growth, and I like seeing that in the character, Lady Alpha. Like that's definitely a good point. Like here, he came back, and there was really nothing. Like it was just Roman Reigns still. It was just still the tribal chief, and so it's good to see something new with that character. But Roman and Jay get the pinfall via the Uso splash. I will say, with 3 people in the same ring, I kind of feel that that spear fatigue. A lot of people do the spear.
We really need to do something about this so that not so many people are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with 1 or 2 of the women doing it because it's not going to be the same thing. The Shula follow thing is hilarious.
Right. Tribal thief.
Yes, I'm great with it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of so many people doing the spear. I think Braun should keep it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with Roman doing it because it's kind of been his thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Jay needs to stop. I don't know of any other guys that use it as a consistent move. I'm okay with somebody randomly hitting one out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like just a surprise spear. But to use it as a move like that, you need to cut down how many people are doing it.
Yep, I don't disagree. After that, we had the women's tag team match. We had the Judgment Day women, Raquel and Roxanne, versus the stepsister situation we got going on here with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Bliss and Flair capture the titles, which I know I was surprised by.
I was surprised by it, but I was pretty happy with it.
I'm happy with it. It's one of those, like, it again, to unfortunately push back to the Unreal show, with them pushing Jay so quickly. Like, it's one of those, like, the iron was hot, and
yeah,
why not? Like, see what you can get out of it. What do you think of this new Charlotte Alexa thing? What do you think of that?
I enjoy it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you're getting a different side of Charlotte. She looks like she's having fun. She looks like she's enjoying herself again. I definitely think that seeing different interviews and different things, especially Unreal about her, it puts her in a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
She said it herself. This is the happiest she's been in the ring in a long time. Good.
Yeah.
Keep doing whatever's making her happy. If she rides out as a tag team the rest of her career, okay. She's a 14-time women's champion.
Yeah, the thing that I'm really loving about it is it does look like she's having fun. And I don't think that's something we've ever really seen in a Charlotte run, is her just having fun. Her and Alexa are obviously good friends backstage, so them getting to just kind of play and have some fun, especially with the big sister little sister dynamic like we got there, because we got Charlotte patting her on the head, and Alexa doing that little sister energy of constantly trying to bunny ears and stuff like that. It's a cute little dynamic. And
it's
where
fun.
On Monday, which we'll talk more about Monday later, obviously, but on Monday, we saw a segment that with any other 2 women on the roster probably would have seemed very hokey and very questionable. It was fun with those 2. Like, I would only say maybe, like, if we would go back in time and have, like, the Iconics or have Lay Cool do a segment like that.
Yeah.
I think they could pull that off, but it's hard to pull that, like, little bicker back and forth and having fun with each other. So it was good to see that. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross faced off. Sami Zayn won via haluva kick. Depending on what happens this weekend, obviously, Kross didn't get any of his win on this. He didn't get the moral win. He didn't get the actual win. Again, Karrion Kross just had the loss. And even in a loss, like, I don't know if you noticed this, but him laying on the ground in Scarlett's arms, he went through like all the emotions at one time. Seeing Sammy with his arms raised, because he looked pissed off, then he looked frustrated, and then when Sammy looked at him and said, "We're done," he looked exhausted. It's almost like he let the veil down. He was like, "Yeah, all right, we're done. We're done." And so even just that little bit, he played it so well.
Yeah, I think they're done. I think that's part of why when he said we're done, Cross was like, "Yeah, we are."
Yeah, it'll be sad if they let him go. That's a damn good talent that you're just wasting away. I heard someone on a video I watched earlier today say it's almost like he's akin to Bray, which that's huge shoes to fill. But I can see that. His presence, his mind, his ability, he very much seems like that type of same mentality. I could imagine if Bray was still alive today, what him and Bray could have done together.
Oh,
Which,
God.
according to Cross, like, they had plans that they were going to do some stuff. So that would have been amazing to see.
Yeah, that could have been so good.
All right. Then we had the women's championship match. Tiffany Stratton retains via the prettiest moonsault ever. Only 7 minutes. 7-minute match. It was a clean finish. Cargill took significant damage during the match.
I said this Saturday, neither one of them is ready for that spotlight with someone as inexperienced as they both are.
Yes.
Had you put Tiffany in there with, like, her match with Charlotte was pretty good at WrestleMania. You put her in there with somebody that knows how to control time, tempo, movement, so on in a match, Tiffany looks great. This match was not it.
Same with Jade. Like, and that's the thing, is like, both these girls are good, but like, if you look at their time in the ring on this large of a scale, I want to say that because I know Tiffany did some stuff before she even got to NXT, but as far as on this stage, they're both so green in that environment. It was an odd idea to put two of those people together on a main stage, until one of them was ready to carry that.
Yeah, I agree, and that's like Stephanie and when Stephanie and Tiffany go, I'm not worried about it. Stephanie can control that.
Yeah.
Tiffany's not there yet. And it's not a knock at either one of them. It's not a knock at all at either one of them. But all of the matches that Jade did in AEW that were on a big stage were super short, and she was super protective until she lost the title, and she lost it to Chris Statlander, who is very experienced.
Yeah. Well, and we if you want to talk about that transition though, we've talked a lot about the difference between people that excel in AEW versus those that excel in WWE. In AEW, it's those people that have the mindset and have the wrestling acumen to do their own thing and excel, which Young in the Ring Jade did not have. And so you keep her at almost like a Goldberg type of level of, are you going to go in there, you're going to squash them, you're going to get out. And they were hiding the things. And so when she got to WWE, that's what took so long for her to get back on the stage, is because they were like, oh shit, there's a lot of stuff here that they didn't teach you that we need to work on. And so she went back through the training.
I definitely think a good NXT run would have done her a world of good.
Absolutely. And I'm surprised they didn't. Like, but I mean, they went so hard on her being this mega star. I guess you almost can't.
You can.
But yeah, she probably would have been pretty well off to have a good NXT run. Aside from the fact that there was obvious holes in both games, good on them for having the match. Good on them for finishing out the match and not completely shitting the bed. Like it was still an okay match. It just there was some obvious things that you look at and go, ah, God, that could have been cleaner. That could have been a little better. Jade tweeted out shortly after saying you guys win. So I don't know what that means as far as for her character or if that's from her personally. But obviously there's going to have to be some sort of shift in her. What do you think is going to happen with the Jade experiment? Do you think we take some time off from it, comes back, or what?
I don't know. Can you put her back? Can you put her back in NXT and not permanently damage her? Is question one.
So I think you could. We recently saw that with Nia Jax showed up for some reason. And
Nia Jax going back for a one-off after having a solid NXT run before, to me, is very different than sending Jade back for a year.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, them coming down to have a run. We've seen it with Dolph Ziggler. We saw it with Miz coming down and having a little run.
But those are little runs. If you're going to move Jade down and actually do work with her, you've got to do a minimum 6 months, possibly a year. And well, this is not a knock on Jade.
No.
It's just that the game that she learned and the game that she's in are two different things.
Right. Maybe if they bring her back and have her take the time off to just train down there for a couple months first.
That might help.
Maybe that'll help. But I mean, obviously she has star written all over her.
Yes,
so
100%.
I'm sure they can turn this around. It's just how do we do this?
She has all the looks and everything of being a star.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what do you do with her at this point? I don't know.
Yeah. We will have to see. Match number 5 of night 1. Somebody saved Drew because Jelly Roll was there. Another one I was surprised with, though, and I think you were as well, just because we both agreed, like, you don't bring Jelly out for this and have him lose, thinking it's going to be a one-off. But as we learned in the press conference, apparently this was not a one-off. They are talking about already doing some more things with Jelly. So the heels picking up the win made all the sense in the world.
It surprised me at the time.
Yeah.
We were both like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. I think actually at this point of the pay-per-view, I had gotten none correct in my predictions.
I think so.
I think I had lost everything on this first night until we got to the main event. But yeah, it's hard for me to talk about because we have some people close to us that obviously were very not into this match. And I was. I loved the match. To me, you can be a good professional wrestler or you can be a good sports entertainer. It's hard to be both. Jelly Roll is a good sports entertainer. He had the facials. He had the selling. The bit of him limping outside and then turning his head just at the right time to see Randy crawling and reaching. He had the timing. He had all of that. Yeah, he's not muscular. He doesn't have the cardio. He doesn't have the fancy moves. He's not Bad Bunny. He's not Logan Paul. He's not any of those guys that have done massively well when they have transitioned over. He's definitely not Maria Menounos because he's not 2-0 at WrestleMania. But I digress. He had a good sports entertainment match. And he took a shit ton in that match.
But that Boss Man Slam was pretty.
It was. It was not bad. And him doing it with him coming off of the turnbuckle, like that was a good way to make it look more impactful, because obviously if we're going to do that to Drew, there's got to be a way to make it look harder, because yeah, when he did it to Logan, Logan sold the shit out of it, but Logan's also like 100 pounds lighter than him. So him swinging him around wasn't going to be a problem. Drew's a big old boy. So getting him to swing would probably be a little harder. So it was a smart way to do it. But I think it was a decent match. Him taking that spot on the announce table was insane. Some of the complaints that I saw about it was you can see him preparing for the move. To me, that's more of a production problem. Like, if you know that he's tightening up for the move, then don't show him on the camera. You know, follow Logan doing the splash instead of trying to do a wide shot.
Right.
But anyway. Yeah, he was impressive, absolutely, for the short amount he had time to train. He does need to work on the punches. I will agree with that. A couple of guys said that on the panel for the night 2. Totally agree with that. His punches, he was very much Shane McMahon with those punches, of just like short burst punches instead of, you know, selling it out and doing a proper wrestling punch. So definitely work on those. I will say, though, I do think we almost got a shake, rattle, and roll. And so if he's learning that move from Road Dogg himself sitting backstage, I think that'd be a good little spot for him to steal.
Yeah.
Main event of night 1, Gunther versus CM Punk. I don't think either one of us were really into this match when we heard about it, but it ended up being a pretty damn good, brutal match.
It did.
So they definitely played it off well. Hey, kitty cat. But all of this was just a means to an end. CM Punk finally gets it. He gets the GTS, gets the win, and I believe, if I remember the record correctly, Drew McIntyre lasted 23 seconds longer as world champion than CM Punk did, because Seth Rollins comes down. He says, you know, I told you you'd never be world champion. I'm going to end up taking that from you. He turns around. This kind of unsold it for me, because Paul stayed there with the briefcase kind of presented as he's walking away. So you kind of knew at that point, okay, the gig is up. He drops the crutches, takes off the strap of the knee brace, one strap at a time, grabs the briefcase, hauls down there, beats the living tar out of CM Punk with the briefcase. Stomp, ball game, he wins. So Seth is our world heavyweight champion again, and you have a built-in program, because now Punk wants his belt back that he just got. And then, like I said, with the fact of how quick it happened, you can throw Drew in there. If Punk gets it back, or if he doesn't, either way, you can kind of renew that a little bit, because, yeah, happened to you too, asshole. So, nice little way to play that off. It was another perfect heist. Like, that seems to be his gimmick, and I'm good with that. Going into night 2, Women's World Championship triple threat. Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley.
So good.
It was a really, really good match. First of all, Naomi entered with her father, which was awesome.
Was so cool.
It was a cool moment. My only thing is, I'm not a fan of when a live performer is performing with the recorded theme. So I think they should have done a whole band, did the whole thing, because it doesn't sound right. They never mix those right. But still amazing. Plus, there's a lot of that's a lot of crap I didn't know about her dad. Like, her dad was with Kool and the Gang, if I remember him saying right.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like so much stuff that I didn't know about her dad. Great guitarist. He was fire there. The match was great. All the ladies did amazing. Me personally, the air was let out a little bit in the room because it was a quick roll-up win on a pay-per-view, but it made sense for what we did.
It did.
Because once again, Rhea Ripley, He gets Io down. 1, 2, roll up 1, 2, 3. Naomi gets the win. Rhea Ripley still has never beaten Io. So now we still have that to play off of. So I'm good with that. I do wish it would have been a little more impactful. Like maybe she did like a rear view while she's sat up for like she does her Rhea sit up pin. And maybe got a rear view right to the face right there. And then pin her. Just to give it a little more
thought
impact.
there were other ways they could have finished it, but I was fine with it. It was a great match, start to finish. It's little things that I had to complain about, but nothing that mattered. Yeah. It was well done. As we saw the follow-up on Monday, it's going to keep going, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I do think at some point we're going to see Damage Control members against each other, though, because this whole,
I saw that.
Pirates, the Pirate and Asuka, Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm kind of side-eyeing a little bit the fact that Io's hanging around Rhea, so.
Joe Hendry just popped out of a fridge on NXT.
Well, someone said his name and then opened some milk.
Ren Sinclair said his name and he popped out of the fridge. That's amazing.
I love that gimmick. Match number 2 for night 2 was the TLC 6-pack match. Before we even start the match, we show the Hardys out in the crowd. We show the Dudleys out in the crowd. We show Ian. Oh, no, never mind. There was nobody else in that. There's nobody else in that TLC. We don't talk about them.
They said 2 of the 3 teams. They just didn't mention the third team. We are back.
All right. Yeah, that's right. They deaned him. Deaned both of them. Or just pretend like they're not there. There was 3 members of the Shield. Don't remember who that third guy was. Don't know. But participants in the match, obviously, the Wyatt Six, which is Dexter and Joe Gacy, versus Andrade and Rey Fenix, Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, and DIY. Crazy match. Lightning fast chaos the entire night. The Wyatt Six end up retaining, which I think surprised a lot of people because this seemed like an easy way for the Wyatts to lose the belts without losing any steam. Especially because we got the Halloween stuff coming up here soon. We could get the straps off of them, let them go do that thing for a while, and kind of re-energize the production a little bit.
This match was a car crash.
It
was an entertaining one.
To me, biggest spot of the night was Candace. Good Lord, she took that spot like a champ. But it was great, and they redid some of the like everybody's reaching for the belt thing. Nothing seemed too slow as far as reaching for that, because that's always my issue with the ladder matches. Are we sitting here fiddling with the thing for a couple of minutes waiting for a spot to happen? That didn't happen, so we got a lot of good timing in that.
I have to give them credit for the Tommaso Ciampa spot.
Yeah.
Him hanging there and pulling himself up so that Frazier missed him was incredibly creative.
The only issue I had with that, so, which Big Mike pointed the first part out, which I think he's right. I think Tommaso's the one that took the spear off there the first time when we did this a couple months back.
Yeah.
So that means he's learned from it. And so that's always great to see, like, they learn, oh, someone's going to spear me off this. That ain't going to happen again. I do wish that Frazier would not have rolled out of that. Because he hit the ground, rolled, and then he was, like, back into spots. No, I wanted him to eat it because of that.
Okay, but to be fair, he ate that Adam Cole kick about 30 seconds later.
Adam Cole?
It was Adam Cole that did it to Ricochet the first time. We saw somebody go for that backflip or whatever.
I thought you were having a stroke. I was like, Adam Cole was not in this match.
No, that Adam Cole kick is what I called it. Because
no. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, if he learned to not get speared, I think there should have been a consequence for him learning that. Of he ate it. But it was definitely one of the best matches, Jillian. It's definitely a good one to pick as your favorite. But yeah, so Wyatt Six walk away with it. I don't think any of us expected that. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to lose this, because like you can't just beat the Wyatts, because then that takes all the air out of their production. So, be intrigued to see what we're going to do with that. The Women's Intercontinental match, we had Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. It's a good match. I akin this to, not the ending, which we'll talk about the ending in a minute, because the ending was a whole other thing. But the match itself, I akin it to Randy Orton versus Mick Foley. Triple H versus Cactus Jack. This gave Lyra an edge because of everything she got put through. They did the New Day spot where they zip tied and hung her up and hit her with the kendo stick while she's hanging there. The visuals on that is always still a little weird because it's like all you got to do is just step on that top step right there. But we'll look past that. But they did that spot. She went through some chairs. Like, he did the leg drop through the table onto Becky, which was like a bird flying out of nowhere. And I think she was molting in this match, and that's a whole other thing. But what are you giggling about?
The leg drop to the table and the sound effects that got put with it on Twitter after the fact. That's what I'm laughing about.
They put the eagle-y sound in there.
Yes.
Peacemaker was going to show up. No, he showed up later. Never mind. But the end of it was a little weird. So we end up in a situation where Becky's got a crowbar. Gonna take the crowbar to Lyra. Bailey comes out of the crowd. Go ahead.
They hesitated. Becky had that crowbar pulled back about too long.
Yeah.
They did not time that well, and I don't know who missed the timing, but that was not timed well and looked really bad.
Yeah. Bailey did show up though, and grabbed it out of her hand, and then we had the moral dilemma of Becky telling Bailey, like, "Look, it's all her fault. This would be you and me right now if it wasn't for her." Luckily enough, though, Bailey then remembered, "Oh yeah, but you're the one that took me out in the first place," and so then threw down that. Becky tried to hit her with a chain in her fist. She ducked that, beat the hell out of her. But then because of a mistimed moment, instead of hitting Becky, which would have helped Lyra win, Becky dodged out of the way. She hits Lyra. Lyra gets pinned 1, 2, 3. And still, champ is Becky Lynch. The ending of that match was weird for me. I don't know about for you, but I kind of was hoping this was going to be a clean break in this, which maybe after Monday, which we'll talk about Monday here in a little bit, maybe they did. But at that moment of the end of this match, it definitely did not seem like we were breaking these people off from each other. It looked like it just stirred it up more.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good match. I thought the Bailey thing was We had said we thought Bailey was going to cost her the match, so we were still kind of right.
Yeah.
Just not 100% right.
Just not what we thought was going to happen.
Not quite what we thought it would be. Why are you standing guard here, bro? Are you good, sir?
You're going to get attacked.
Apparently he thinks so.
Honestly, my letdown of the night, which I was not expecting at all, Solo versus Jacob in a steel cage for the United States Championship. I really thought you had these two big Samoans that were just going to beat the hell out of each other, and I could not get into this match.
I didn't care. It's one of those that I didn't care. Yes, you can tell. You could see that work.
Yeah.
I didn't care because no matter which one of them has it, I don't care about this feud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in Solo. Like I said, if you put him just as a manager, I'm down for it. But in general, it did feel like it was rushed too. You're right, Isaiah. I don't care. Nothing they've done with Solo has made me care about him. And I think that's where my problem comes in. I don't care.
My issue with this match is we are in the same spot right now as we were before the match. It's the same feud, the same people.
Yeah.
Nothing's been added to this.
Nothing
This
at all.
should either be a blow off and we're done, or it should build, because I think we all understand like Survivor Series is right around the corner. We're probably going to have another Bloodline Survivor Series. We should have added whoever the next participant is in this match. Because first of all, Jay coming down there and taking on the 3 MFTs at the same time, and until he gets kicked in the face, being able to handle all 3 of them, that's ridiculous. Someone should have came down with him, or they start beating him down, and then someone comes down to help him. Something should have happened to add someone else to this. But right now, we still have these guys, 4 guys, against 2 guys, and nothing's been changed. So I don't care.
That's part of why I'm where I am. You brought in Hikuleo. I still don't care.
Yeah.
You've done nothing to make this matter to me. Nothing at all.
Well, and I do wonder if some of it's bias. One of the things, like if you look at one of our TikToks that got posted today, it was me, Mike, and Vinny talking about JC Mateo and him being brought in. When Jacob got brought in as the heavy, Jacob had a personality that transcended that character. So him doing the I love you solos, him doing the shaking, him doing all the screaming, it transcended that character and made us look at him more. JC is just playing the background heavy. Hikuleo is just playing the background heavy.
There's nothing about them that makes them special or makes them stand out or makes me care.
Yeah. I mean,
this is where I'm at with this.
Without Tama there, the only thing we got is Solo's laugh thing, which is funny. Like his personality has come out more. Yeah. And he's funny. But without anything else around him, it's just you're the only dude talking, you're the only dude entertaining, and you got 3 guys behind you that ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. Like when Solo was out there with Jacob was back there doing something.
Yeah.
Whether he was doing this or he was moving around or walking around like a caged animal. Something. These guys just stand there.
Yeah.
So. I just don't care about this anymore. Like I feel like at this point we have beaten the bloodline to death. Let's just stop.
I would say at least take a break. Like let's hold off on the whole bloodline versus bloodline thing for a while. Obviously finish this. I'm not saying do the WWE thing and just forget we had the storyline. Finish this storyline and then let's lay off the bloodline for a little bit and just let them do their own thing. CM Punk had made a joke at the Comic-Con panel, and it's almost becoming true that we could almost have enough people there that we could have all Samoan Royal Rumble,
a Women's Royal Rumble, and a Samoan Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
No, he's not. So, like, I think let's just let everybody do their thing. Let's bring Tama Tonga back. Let's get God together, put them in that wonderful tag team division, or help them build the one on Raw, because the one on Raw needs some help. But let them be a tag team, do their thing. Let JC put on the mask again and do his Lucha Underground character if that's what it takes to get him to like let a character out.
If we're going to do God, let them go be God.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally have them turn on Solo and the rest of them and just beat the monkey shit out of them.
Yeah.
And then go to whoever they have next and beat them down. And go to whoever's next and beat them down. Like, have them start running through people. Chelsea showed up in NXT. Now I'm going to have to watch that tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, once this is done and we're ready to disband the MFTs.
Whatever this is.
Then, yeah, like, have them say, you know what, screw you. We're going to go off and do our own thing. You can leave Hikuleo with Solo, because I don't think that's a bad pairing of like you've got the short stocky dude and the big tall dude. That's a good pairing. They could do things on their own and just kind of be a duo without being a tag team.
I really don't like the name JC Mateo because nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
They called him Jeff Cobb when he debuted.
Mm-hmm.
Why not stick with that? I get the real name thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But why not stick with it?
Well, some of that could be behind the scenes. I want to give a little bit of credit on that because obviously if he comes over there and he's going to be Jeff Cobb, then he's got to license that name to them or sign it over to them. And if neither one of them's like, I don't want to license it, I don't want to sign it over, okay, well, let's come up with a new name. Okay, I get it. But
I guess my thing is, I guess my thing is at this point, why do we not have, okay, my contract is X amount of time. I'm going to license my name to you for X amount of time. But once that time is up, it's mine.
Yeah.
Like, why is this not a thing?
There's a lot of those. I would love to be able to dig into the business with someone who's been there in the business side, and maybe someday we'll be big enough to do that. Only you guys in the chat can help us out with that. So the people watching right now, if you haven't done it already, like, subscribe, all those fun things at the bottom. Help us get big enough so we can talk to some of these people, because I'd love to know stuff like that. Like one of my big questions, specifically as a creator on the 2K series, WWE owns so much music. Why do we not have access to that library for creating people? Because while I make, let's say, like while I make Rosemary, while I may not be able to have Rosemary's music, the Brood music would fit her pretty well, and y'all own that. Why can't I use the Brood music?
Daphne's music would fit.
Oh yeah, that'd be good too.
Paige's old music would fit.
Yeah. So I mean, that always confused me because I'm like, you own all this music, just let us have access to it on the game, and that'd be perfect. But yeah, things like names, things like licensing music, like all that's like that always confuses me. So one of the better matches that I wish had a little more time though, the Intercontinental Championship match, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Dominic did an interview on Busted Open, and he said he did not know that AJ was going to come out the way he came out.
Really?
So Dominic comes out, and they mention that his tights are fashioned like his dad's from that same night of Dominic's custody on a pole. Of course, he dommed it up a little bit. But then AJ comes out, and he is wearing the same style tights, except for it says Styles on the back instead of Latino. But
I think it said Latino Heat on the back.
No, it said Styles.
No, I'm saying when Eddie wore
it.
it.
When Eddie wore them. So it's the same style tights as Eddie wore a shirt that says Styles Heat, coming out in a lowrider. And so that was a lot of fun. It was very like akin to seeing that match again from 05. But Dominic wins. It ends with two separate like Eddie spots. We had the chair spot where Dom has the chair, he hits the ground, he throws it at AJ, falls to the ground, but the ref hasn't turned back around yet. So one of the funniest ways I've seen this happen, because usually the person, in this case Eddie or whoever Eddie was facing, if they did that spot between the two of them, he would throw the thing back down and just lay down. No, AJ put the whole ass thing over his head and then laid down to kind of show more like, oh, he hit me. So great spot there.
It was nicely done.
We see in the replay though that after that's done and Dom's kind of hanging over the side of the ropes, he unzips his boot, which akin to when Eddie faced Kurt Angle for the world title. Knowing he was probably going to get put in the calf crusher, he was able to slip his foot out. He was able to surprise AJ, and he gets the win. What do you think of the match?
I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it. I do think we're to the point of it's time to get the title off of Dom because he doesn't need it. he doesn't need that title. I think it's time to get him away from the Judgment Day and get the title off of him.
Yeah. So
but he
is such a immense character right now that I agree with you. I think we need to get the belt off him, and maybe we do that in Paris because obviously AJ's still coming after him because of how that ended. Hopefully AJ wins it in Paris, and Dom can go on to go after that Mega Championship in AAA because that crowd was hot for him. I think he could thrive down there. I think he could be the headliner down there. It's amazing how much his character has gotten over in just, I think he said the other day, 5 years.
Yeah.
When he was doing interviews. He's like, I've only been doing this for 5 years, and he's, of course, doing his character bit of, I've already done more than my deadbeat dad ever did. While I don't agree with that, still in 5 years, he's done a crap ton of work and has gotten himself so over. All right, on to the main event, championship street fight. I was a little worried about this being a street fight because everything in here has had some sort of no disqualification thing except for the IC title.
There was a lot.
So it's like, what else could you possibly do? No, they did everything and then more. They went all across the arena, beat the living hell out of each other. It was a great match. Subverting expectation because everybody assumed someone was going to be turning. Whether it was John Cena faking the face turn and actually being a heel, or whether it was Cody Rhodes turning to heel. No, this was a full-on just face versus face match. We got an amazing visual, which I know will be in thumbnails until the end of time, which is they fight outside, they go under the contraption of the stage. We don't see them for a minute, and then all of a sudden, the lights dim, smoke comes out, lights hit the Cody Vader, and then Cena comes up, Cody on his shoulders, with one of the best visuals I think we've seen in years. And then he proceeds to yeet the shit out of him with an AA down the ramp. Good Lord. We'll talk about the other thing in a second, and we'll just kind of move on from that. But before we do that, what did you think of the match?
It was fun. I didn't dislike it. It wasn't great. For what it was fine. We got the tease of a Cody turn. There were some different things that you and I talked about that I'm like, I would have done this different, I would have done that different. Overall, it was a fun match. I was surprised Cody won. I was surprised at the title change.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. It was a passing the torch. It was the handoff from the GOAT to the guy. Because people can hate John Cena all they want to. That man is the GOAT. Right now, he's the GOAT.
Well, and they talked about a little bit in commentary of like this is reminiscent of when Rock handed over the torch to Cena, and like if you keep going back in that history of, you know, Hogan gave it to Rock, Andre gave it to Hogan, like this whole lineage of like you're the guy now. So it was great to see that moment of officially like we're donning. All right, Cody's the guy. Cody's the guy that's going to be the guy for however long until he's ready to be done. I was surprised he won. I don't remember if I want to say I picked him, but I only picked him because everybody was picking Cena, and so I think I picked him just to be opposite. Lady Alpha can keep me honest about that. I know she wrote down my my stuff, and she had a big whiteboard. Big thanks to her for helping us keep score on that, by the way. Really appreciate that. And thanks for doing it sober. I know I can't do that math when I'm drunk. I can't do that math when I'm sober either, but that's a whole other conversation.
Hard to say.
One thing I do want to bring out specifically, though, of what I loved about this match is I loved Cody's presentation on his entrance. The lights go out, and normally we hear there's more than one wrestling family. And we didn't hear that this time right away. We heard the Dusty Rhodes promo. Which do you recognize where that promo was from?
I didn't off the top of my head. I saw something that filled me in on it.
Okay.
And people tried to say it was like AI, and I'm like, no, that's an actual promo.
Yeah, no, they cleaned up the audio so it doesn't have the background stuff. But it was the same promo that Dusty had done to Dustin. Back in WCW, Dustin had partnered with Arn Anderson to face, at the time, Ric Flair and I want to say it was Wyndham at the time, if I remember correctly. Was that iteration of the Four Horsemen? I could be wrong though.
I think so.
But either way, so he tags Arn Anderson in after playing the Ricky Morton role. He's getting beat down the entire match. He finally gets a hot tag to Arn. Arn comes in, House of Fire, turns around, DDT's Dustin. He's rejoined with Ric Flair, his best friend, to redo the horse. The next week, Dusty is trying to hype him up, and he's like, look, like you don't need any more of these egg-sucking dogs out here as your tag team partner. I'm asking you for me to be your partner. The line still gets to me all the time of like, Arn Anderson has always been a follower. And what happens when you're a follower is the view never changes. And just the way he says it, the view never changes, baby. The view never changes, baby. The view never changes. That always hits me when he does that. Because there was so much in that. You could see he was able to pull some sort of emotion out of it, whether it was he got himself in the moment or whatever. Tells Dustin, I don't need a handshake. I need a hug and a kiss to seal the deal. They hug. Crowd goes crazy. But it was that promo. But hearing those words at the start of it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then those words are done. Lights come on. Cody comes up to silence. And then lights go off as music hits. Great presentation. Makes him look like $1 million. The oversized Iron Man helmet can still go away. But aside from that, it was a great presentation for him. Brought a tear to my eye. That's absolutely sure because of the Dusty stuff. Like Dusty's still, that's my go-to. So anyway, though, we get in. My only issue with the match, and you and I had been texting back and forth about it. Still talking about the match, not what happened after. I understand that in a high-profile match, you're going to get people that kick out of finishers. It's the business that it is today. But to use the term from 2K, to kick out of someone's super finisher, that's ridiculous. Come on now. Cody, no, we won't go with Cody first. We'll go with Cena first. Cena hits, or no, it was Cody first, wasn't it? Cody hit the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cody hit the triple crossroads. Cena kicks out. Cena does a double AA and then a super AA off the ropes, or off the turnbuckle. Cody kicks out. That's a bit much for me.
I'm not a fan of it.
But
I'm just not. I'm just not a fan of it. I think those, when you get to the point of doing 3 crossroads, so it put down. You didn't get my fries?
Oh, yeah.
You suck.
You're supposed to pay for it.
Huh?
You're supposed to pay
That's
for it.
fair. So you're saying now at this point that Cena's better than Roman?
Yeah. Because
I
that
just
put down Roman. That put down so many people. Because he did that to, I think, AJ too. AJ got the 3.
I think he did it to Brock.
Yeah, and like, I get it. I mean, we just said Cena's the GOAT. Like we just said that. But it's still,
I get that.
It's still weird that you're hitting 3 finishers in a row, and that was not enough to put him down.
And then you later hit him with one and that's enough.
Big Mike, welcome to the chat. And absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
They are special moves. In some case, specials in quotes. So anyway, finally we get to the point, though. Sharks with freaking lasers. We're off the rails. We finally get to the point where Cody catches him, though, at the crossroads, and he wins the title. He's finally realized his dream again. He's a 2-time undisputed champion. He gives Cena the ring. He backs out. Cena's the GOAT. Cena's the one retiring. Gives him the ring to do his little, like, this is my last time, wave goodbye and all that stuff. And then we hear music. It's Brock's music. He comes out. He does his special moves. Takes out John Cena. And we're done with the night. We are not going to go into all of that stuff. We're just going to say Brock Lesnar is back. He's obviously going to have a program with Cena. And we'll just leave it at that. Everybody can have their own opinion about what's going on there. We're not. This does lead into the next night, though. Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins comes out as the new World Heavyweight Champion. Comes out there with Braun Breaker. Comes out there with the Tribal Thief. The winner of the Shula Fala. Bronson Reed. And the Oracle. They officially name their group. They are called Division, which
I'm okay with.
I'm okay with. I think Big Mike was the first person that I ever heard say that. And props to you for calling it out. I do want to say, though, that is the most uninspired name for this group. He's the visionary. They're the vision. We're done. All right, that's it. That's good. It took us how long for them to finally settle on that name?
But with them starting to call Paul the Oracle, it just makes sense.
It does. My problem is it took us this long to name them. And then you name them Division. Unless you were fighting with Marvel for that name, there's no reason why it should have took this long. This should have already been done.
I just want to point out that 2 years ago today was that fight in Montgomery, Alabama. And that was some of the greatest shit I've ever seen in my life. It just popped up on my Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about this. That man jumped in the water to swim over there to fight that guy. Oh, it's so good.
I can understand that, Stampede. I certainly can. Tori and I have been. This is as much as we're going to talk about this. Me and her have been talking all day about how we were going to handle this, because neither of us are happy of him being back. Big Mike, we absolutely agree with you on what you said there, which is, despite all the other stuff, I don't care to see him back. I wasn't a big fan to begin with. And then with everything going on, it's just bad optics. This litigation is still going on. And he may or may not be innocent in this. We still don't know. And because of that, why? Why bring him back? Hopefully, everything comes out that he's innocent when they do this. Because then at least we can say, okay, well, at least he wasn't that asshole. But until we know, we don't, it's dumb to bring it back.
I'm not a fan. I'm just going to leave it at that, because I could...
You could, absolutely.
I have a lot of feelings about this. To me, they might as well have just told their whole female roster to go fuck themselves. what kind of work environment are you putting out for your employees?
Yeah. Well, it was something I was going to put in the news. One of the representative for the defendant, or not for the defendant, excuse me, for the prosecution, did come out and say that she thinks like this is going to be something that hurts them in the long run, because they're showing their hand as far as what kind of environment they're willing to subject their performers to. So, but we're going to move on. So we have the Seth Riders. I refuse to call it Division. Stampede, I'm keeping your name. The Seth Riders are out there. LA Knight interrupts them, accuses Rollins of faking the injury to begin with, and basically says, I was out there just to hurt you. I was just out there to hurt you. Oh, that's why I was confused on Jillian. I was like, who's Tony? Tony Storm's not here. I was just out there to hurt you last time, but this time I have actually something that could really hurt you, and that's me taking that title from you. I demand that we have a shot tonight. And then I don't know what's happened to Adam Pearce. I don't know if he's already had that drink that he always asked for, because he was full of liquid courage today. Division Riders. I like that one too. Oh yeah, that will definitely go to Discovery. Of like, look, they brought him back.
It's me. Just keep going.
Okay. I almost kind of want you to go, like, I want to give you the logins to our TikTok, and I kind of want you to do a TikTok of it. I kind of do. To just get it all out there.
I may get it shut down.
You know what though? I've seen famous TikTokers. They get shut down all the time and then turn back on 2 days later. Like, I think we'll fly under the radar. But anyway, so Adam Pearce comes out. He says, absolutely, you know what? This is a different night. This is not a normal night. So I'm going to say, absolutely, you get your title shot. And on top of that, Breaker and Reed, you are banned from ringside. You cannot come out here. Of course, that absolutely means that they're probably going to come out there later.
Here's the problem with this. Did anyone think Punk wasn't showing up last night?
So if you would have asked me that Sunday night, I would have said, absolutely, he's coming in. It's happening.
Paul Bettany would be better since he did the voice of that. James Spader was the Ultron.
Actually, yes. If you would have asked me that Sunday night, I would have absolutely said that. Punk wasn't even in my brain for some reason during Raw. I don't know why. It's obvious. It's obvious he would have came out, but for some reason my brain was just not telling me it was going to happen.
That's fair.
This leads us into Sheamus versus Rusev 3. So apparently we are doing this.
Can we please stop?
I'm telling you, it's Bar 2.0. It's going to be a best of 7, and then they're going to tag team. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get League of Nations back together. Never mind. We'll leave that there. So they have a brutal match. Here's the thing. I'm never against these two being in the ring. They beat the living hell out of each other.
At this point, stop. You brought Rusev back, and you've done nothing with him. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He beat up Tozawa. Oh, no. Now we've had like 47 matches with Sheamus. Oh, yay. There's no point to any of this.
Absolutely. No problem at all. Like, no. They're literally just beating the shit out of each other because they want to beat the shit out of each other. That's kind of where we are here.
And then them doing it all through the backstage was just as stupid.
No, see, I was kind of okay with that because then it incorporated other things. Like, you got to see Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, and then they got cut off because they're fighting. They bumped into Sammy later. Like, I was kind of good with that. You know how I am about a through line. I was fine with their fight being the through line the rest of the night. I was good with that. But, yeah. We need to have a finish to this. And hopefully it's not them being Bar 2.0. That's a good point
Mike
too.
ain't wrong.
That's a good point too, Mike. So they end up brawling. They brawl outside. Sheamus is doing the 10 beats of the Bowery on the barricade area. They get counted out. And then, they fight backstage. And then it's a through line the entire night of they're just fighting through the backstage. We had a little backstage segment with New Day and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller going up to Adam Pearce. They're like, hey, I don't feel like you disrespected me last week because you made me fight Sheamus and yada, yada, yada. Ended up talking himself into a match with Penta. Him and Penta have about an 8-man match. It was a decent match. It was a lot of fun. Grayson actually surprised me with a lot of what he was doing. But Penta ends up getting the win. The New Day come in, and Penta makes short work of both of them. This massive hat that Xavier Woods is wearing, because apparently every week he is mourning more and more, and every time he mourns more, his hat grows 2 sizes. So his hat was massive.
He's like the Grinch, his heart.
And so he did crush it in that hat, Jillian. I agree with you. Not to mention, I'm a straight dude. I'm a straight white cis male, but Xavier Woods is a good looking dude. So him standing there in the black jeans with the no shirt and the big hat, I don't like. Jesus Christ, man.
Kung Lao hat. That's right.
That's right.
That's 100% what it is,
Well,
too.
and we saw that because Penta goes and he makes short work of them, tosses them outside. He gets the hat, he puts it on, does a smooth operator walk, and then he grabs it and Kung Lao's it straight to Woodsy.
Which again, I saw that clip this morning on Twitter, and I was crying.
Yeah.
From laughter.
He tosses the hat at Woods. Woods sells it like he's getting murdered with the hat. But all that does is
big floppy hat that's not going to hurt anybody.
First of all, the precision in which Penta was able to throw that hat was great. The sell from Woods was great, but it surprised them enough to lead them up to him doing a planche over the top. Landed perfectly on both of them. It was a great segment all the way around. Absolutely loved it. This leads us to Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee. There was another backstage segment. A lot of tonight was a lot of like Rampage special things. Because basically the LWO was backstage, Judgment Day was backstage. That's where we found out that AJ is still coming for Dom. So he walks up to him. His flanked members of Judgment Day, JD and Finn, are about to jump AJ, and AJ says, "Whoa! I'm not gonna slap him, not yet, anyway." But how you won that last night? Props to you. Good on you. That was interesting way for you to win it. But I'm still coming for that. So at some point, I'm coming back for you. And then he leaves. But then they walk up on LWO. Dom's talking about how he's the best luchador. Dragon Lee, at least I assume that's his name because I haven't seen him actually wrestle on a high capacity in a long time. Says, no, I'm going to make sure you see what respect actually means. We're going to have a match tonight. So again, Dom's playing with the LWO. I don't know why we're revisiting this conversation. But they have a match. Dominic picks up the win, goes over it. This leads us then to the women's tag team match. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They do a little presentation beforehand, a little interview beforehand in the middle of the ring, where they're doing kind of some cutesy stuff. They're, big sister, little sister type of conversation. Charlotte takes the belt out of Alexa's hands and says, "It's good to be a champion again." Alexa comes behind Charlotte, takes the one out from around her waist, says, "No, it's good for us to be champions again." Little things like that, which, like we said at the beginning of the show, any other pairing, this would seem cringy. But for these two, for some reason, I like it. It's fine with these two.
It's fun.
But so we end up with an impromptu tag team match, though. So Flair and Bliss win, though, retaining the women's tag team match. So it seems like we're done with a Judgment Day. So intrigued to see where they go from here, because the women's tag team division isn't great. So I'm not sure where we're going to go from here. Can you think of anybody that immediately comes to mind on who they would actually feud with at this point?
No, because there's no one. Because they decimated their tag scene. I'm kind of hoping they send them to NXT because it would be good for people in NXT.
All right, and then we ended the night with a world heavyweight title match. Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, I did forget about that. You're right.
We can just keep going and forget about that.
No. A distraction happened in the Intercontinental Champions match. We had Grande Americano Dos jump up on the ring and distract him, which got foiled. And then we had Grande Americano Tres hop up on the ring, also got foiled. But however, we found out there's a Grande Americano Cuatro that came up, gave him a faint kick to the head. So, which caused Don to be able to win the match. I replied to something on Twitter about this. Someone was like, I seriously don't know who that is. And I replied back with, I would know those thighs anywhere. Pause. That's Tyler Bate. Because Tyler Bate's thighs are like twice the size of his waist. So as soon as I saw his legs in those pants, I knew exactly who that was. Plus, it makes sense anyway, because Pete Dunne was the other one. Supposedly. Allegedly.
I feel like I'm watching the Vianos. There was like 14 of those guys.
The Vianos, I haven't heard that one in a while.
This is so stupid. It's just stupid.
So this
It's not fun. It's not funny. It's just 30 grand. That sounds about right. We're gonna do 4 Royal Rumbles this year: men's, women's, Samoans, and Grande Americanos. Stop it.
I sent Tori a gift this morning.
So awful.
If anybody has watched Across the Spider-Verse, they did the Spider-Man meme with all the variants of Spider-Man. I think that's what a Royal Rumble is going to be looking like with the Grande Americanos. But no, in all seriousness though, it's not your thing, Tori, and I get that. It's not really my thing either. I do kind of like the fact that we have a new Doink gimmick of people are just under the mask and it doesn't really matter who it actually is. But someone loves this. And that someone is like all of the AAA fans, because they freaking love Grande Americano. He was so over there. And so whatever we're doing with this, someone likes it. This is the chocolate chip, chocolate fountain part of the buffet. It's, why is this here? This isn't a 20-star restaurant. Why do we have a chocolate fountain? This is Captain D's. Just, why is it here? Regardless, it's fun. Someone likes it. It's just not us. But I'd be intrigued to see, because right now we're saying the other two are Grande Americanos. That's what the announcers are saying. But they're dressed entirely different than Grande Americano. They have a different mask. They're wearing full track suits. Are we going to end up coming out saying that this isn't actually Grande Americano and it's his own little group? Be intrigued to see where we go. I almost kind of wonder if we're going to do, like I joked about us getting the League of Nations back together with Sheamus and Rusev. I wonder if this is going to be kind of like that League of Nations thing. Eventually we end up taking off the mask and we have Kaiser, we have Pete Dunne, and we have Tyler Bate. We do kind of this like foreign group. Maybe. I don't know. And then Chad Gable comes back in his All-American group, has a problem with the foreign group. And we play off that. I don't know. Speaking of American Made, though, their little miss that's part of that group
Ivy Nile.
put out a new picture today
Yes, she did.
of a new look. And I am A-okay with this new look. Not that she needs my permission, but if she wants to use that on television, I am perfectly fine with it. Yeah. So now that we've talked about the Grande Americano at all, and the Butch Latte, the manly mocha latte, I don't know, whatever we're going to call the other two. We get to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Knight was killing it. He had a near fall off a burning hammer. The match, though, ends in a disqualification when CM Punk emerges from the crowd, attacking Rollins. We got some back and forth between Punk and LA Knight, too, because LA Knight's wondering, like, what are you doing here? Like, you're ruining my opportunity here. So does that mean that we're going to end up inserting him somehow into this? Or is he just going to take another back seat? Because I think he's another one of those, like, we need to strike on this iron pretty damn quick, because I don't know how much longer he's going to be on fire.
LA Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, LA Knight has the same shelf life Jey Uso does. When Yeet stops being popular is about the same time that will stop being popular.
Fair enough.
Once they hit that shelf life, they'll both go back to obscurity.
Yeah.
I mean, Jey will go back to tag teaming and winning gold that way. LA Knight will just go.
Yep.
And Eli Drake will make his return on the Indies, so whatever.
So, obviously, due to the DQ, Rollins keeps the title. Heyman's crew is banned from ringside, but Punk's out there beating the shit out of Seth. Braun comes out of nowhere with a spear, and then they proceed to beat everybody down. We have almost the same thing as far as them, like, putting up the copyright and all that. We didn't quite get there, but we have Paul Heyman saying it loud enough to the camera of, oh yeah, now we need to go ahead and pose. And almost as soon as he says pose, Roman Reigns music hits. All of them are looking confused. I don't know why they look confused. If Roman Reigns music hits, you kind of know what's going to happen. But Roman comes down. He kind of clears house, but then he ends up getting a spear from Breakker as well. A stomp from Rollins, and then multiple tsunamis from Bronson. Ends up stealing another pair of shoes. So this is the second pair of shoes now that Bronson has stolen from Roman.
Which apparently this is supposed to put Roman on the shelf because he's going to do a movie.
Yes. Big Mike, I do love the shirt. Did you generate that shirt, or did you find it somewhere on the internet? I have to ask that question. Big Mike had posted an OTT shirt, which was the only tribal thief.
That's funny.
Which absolutely beautiful. But yeah, so we end with that happening.
We did forget about Bex and Nikki.
Oh yeah, they did have a conversation. You are right. My bad for forgetting about that.
Because it was great.
It was. Because Becky, it's another one of those things, like we talk about, like the fun segment with Alexa and Charlotte and how those two uniquely are able to pull that off and have it not be cringy. Becky pulled off talking about Nikki's marital problems. Fair enough. Her marital problems, and it didn't seem cringy. Where a lot of times it comes up when they pull out of their pocket of like, and you couldn't get married. But no, she talks about how her and Seth are the number one couple in WWE. Oh, well, that would have been you, but oh, that's right. You can't see him anymore. And it's just the way she delivered that line. It was like, oh God, oh, ow.
So So he told me about it because I hadn't gotten to it yet. And then I saw that line and I was crying when I texted him about it. And I'm like, oh shit. So this is what we're doing.
Yeah, they got dirty with it. Which obviously Nikki's probably all in on it.
I'm sure that Nikki was fine with it.
But it definitely was a great line that was delivered. So obviously we're going to get Nikki versus Becky again. I do know there is going to be some people that are not into this match, obviously, because they're not Nikki fans and Nikki coming back. I do like the way Nikki spun it, though, of like, I came back because, like, my legacy and all this stuff. Why did you come back?
Nikki had some good lines in there. I was a fan. Just once Becky had dropped that "oh, you can't see him" line,
yeah,
it was over. Just in the segment, it's over with. There's no coming back from that.
No, not at all. There's no coming back from that. That was line of the night for sure. But so as far as the first Raw after SummerSlam, what did you think of it?
It was okay. It was a good show. My excitement, I honestly went back and forth. I went back and forth over it a little bit on whether I was going to watch it or not. I know that won't be a thing until Friday, but still, I was just kind of, do I want to do this or not? It was a fun show, though. It wasn't bad. It was fun.
Yep. I'm going to give everybody that's in the chat here, with 28 people watching, thank you for watching. If you haven't dropped into the chat, go ahead and drop some stuff in the chat if you want to talk. But I'm going to give you guys a little inside baseball that I told Tori specifically about this. If you don't want to watch SmackDown or watch WWE because of this, I completely understand. I know that there has been a lot of vitriol and a lot of venom when it comes to people's opinions of that. You know what? Your personal feelings are your own personal feelings, and what makes you feel comfortable or uncomfortable is your own personal deal. I cannot tell you that you should get over it. Even in our own podcast, I have told Tori that if she makes a decision that she's not watching WWE, I'm going to continue to watch it. I'm going to glaze over the stuff that I am not into, because normally we're doing 3 count anyway. We're only doing this because a pay-per-view just happened. So I will probably never talk about that, man. It'll probably never happen. But I will continue to watch, and I will continue to support the men and the women who put their body on the line that have nothing to do with that situation.
And that's
That's okay, Big Mike. I appreciate it. Big Mike's trying to help us get affiliate.
I appreciate that. Right now, I'm not sure where I'm at with it. There's a lot. I'm not sure how much I'm going to keep up with SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't mind watching Raw at the moment, depending on what they do. If he moves over to Raw, I may not watch it. I don't know. There's a lot on SmackDown I do want to see. The tag team division is absolute fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care about their women's title picture. I'm curious to see what they do with the women's US title. But I'm just really... I think it's a bad PR. I think it's a bad look. And I'm good right now with it. I'm a pass.
Yep. And that's completely fair enough. But we will continue, like, as a show, to talk about WWE. If Tori had said 100% she was still going to watch, I might have backed out. but one of us is going to watch it regardless, because it would be ill educated for us to not talk about the biggest wrestling company in the game. The biggest audience, the biggest thing out there, as much as we don't agree with some of the decisions there. So,
but at the same time, there are still some extremely talented people that they're going to get punished because of what the company did.
right. And that's kind of still the thing that's up in the air, is like, on one hand, we hear that Triple H has final say-so in what happens in the company. In some terms, we hear that TKO has that say-so. So maybe it's TKO that brought him back, and even Paul has nothing he can do except for make a best of the situation, which is to go on a panel and say, "We're glad to have him back." Yep.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens from there. But I do want to go on to a different conversation just to kind of end out the night. Before I do, let's do our other ad, and then I'll bring up the thing that I saw today.
Yo, Ace Finley here. You're kicking out a 2 intern with a mic and a mission. And before Michael and Tori break down the latest in wrestling, I got to tag in the man with the voice that hits harder than a lariat, Rip Calloway.
Appreciate the hot tag, Ace. Now listen up, folks. If you're looking for that perfect blend of sports talk and squared circle heat, look no further than our friends at Chairshot Sports. They've got articles, podcasts, power rankings, and takes hotter than a summer death match. Whether you ride with the gridiron or the G1, Chairshot Sports has something for you. Want to know more? Easy. Check out the description of this video and get yourself connected. Chairshot Sports. Smart, sharp, and always ringside ready.
Remember to check them all out and do the thing. Let's get back to the show.
Okay, so I don't want to get into specifics because then we're going to end up in this conversation all night, and I don't want to do that. I just want to bring up the thought and your thoughts on, because of things that have happened this weekend, because of things that happen on pay-per-views, a lot of people online have gotten a lot more prominence because of that. We've seen Wheezy, which is a wonderful content creator. She's been shown on multiple things. Conrad was recently put on the Unreal documentary. Of course, Malcolm, which is the What's Your Waffle House Order guy, he's been on a lot of stuff. And I saw that these people have been getting a lot of hate because of how they enjoy the product. People talking about how, oh my God, how can you be crying over this person winning a match? Or, oh my God, how can you post a video of you not reacting to a thing? If you don't care about the product, then don't post the video. Me personally, I think you post how you want to post and for the message that you want to create. So, like, for instance, one of them was one of the posters didn't react to someone coming out because she's not a fan of that person. And so the meaning of the video was to show, I don't want this. But she got backlash for posting the video because, like, well, why even post it if you don't care? What do you think?
I don't have a problem with posting the video. If you're not happy about it, don't be happy about it. It's one of those things. Had we been making a video and he came out, our reaction would not have been favorable. Because we were both like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
We'd have gotten, well, we probably would have gotten more hate because of me, but whatever. If that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy with the decision. I think it sends a certain message. I don't think it's a good message. I think it says a lot to your talent about how their work environment matters to them and matters to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not a fan, you're not a fan of it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to be a fan of it, cool, do you. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's a bad look. I think it's a bad idea. And I think it's going to end up biting them in the ass.
It very well could. But even on the flip side of it, like I've seen people that get hate because, like Cody winning, I saw some videos of people like tearing up because Cody won. And people
I don't have a problem with that.
downing them because they're like, how could you cry over something like that? Because some of us are invested in this. Like, and
Look,
your level of investment is yours personally. Did I tear up when he won? No. I teared up at his entrance though. Damn straight I did. Because hearing Dusty's voice at the start of that got me. Because Dusty was my guy. But there are kids today that like Dustin's their person, or Cody's their person, or Moxley's their person, or Kenny's their person. Like, these people finally get over a hurdle and are able to be successful in the story that they're in. And that's the other thing too, is if the story pulls at the heartstrings enough, what's the problem? I mean, how long has Squid Game season 3 been out? Give or take.
I don't know.
I think if we're past like the point of like, all right, if you're not gonna watch it, then stay in here. If you're gonna watch it, then maybe mute me for a minute and I'll clap my hands or something. But it's like there's a very sad ending to that, and I teared up at it because I watched it for 3 seasons and fell in love with this character that had to make this choice. And so that got me. The story got me. Wrestling's the same thing. Vinny, one of our partners here with Chairshot Sports, he does wrestling, and he does soap operas. I don't know if you ever like watched soap operas when you were a kid. I was big on it when I like on my sick days and I'd stay home with mom. We'd watch Passions, and like I was hardcore into it. Wrestling is just men's soap operas. If it's a good story, it's a great story.
I don't know that I've gotten like having Cody come back was cool. It was a cool moment.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie's death, Owen's death, those, yeah. And even when they talk about them and go back through them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was not one that was very emotional before. I'm a lot more than I used to be. There's been TV shows I'm watching that I'm just, what they're doing and going through and dealing with.
Yeah.
100%. That shit was emotional as hell. That whole match. We were there, though. That's the difference. Me and Jillian were there.
We were there, damn it.
We were there.
But I mean, that's a story
she's
that's
going to Wrestle Dream too. So, you know.
Well, we may see you there.
Hopefully.
But I mean, that like that's
invested,
yeah. No, go ahead.
If you're invested, you're invested. Like I started watching SWAT on Netflix. They did an episode on school shootings.
Mm-hmm.
It got to me because it's a real thing and it's really sad and it's heavy. It's a heavy topic.
It is.
Like I'm on like the 3rd season of the show, and it's one of those things that they don't shy away from heavy topics. And I can appreciate shows that do that.
Yeah. I do want to roll back to Stampede's question there that kind of rolled off the screen there. So canceling out the pressers after the PLE was a very small, cowardly look too, on top of the complete
100%.
bullshit that was spewed by Paul, Which the bullshit, just to point that out, is you have a whole bunch of fans behind you saying we want Cross, and you said, well, you got him, we got Brock. That is not what they said, sir.
That is not what they said, sir.
Um,
I caught that, and I'm like, ew.
well, and then so someone tweeted it, Cross retweeted it, and said some very cool things about like they write the script, but you write the truth, and
Yep.
and all that. And then Braun Strowman
Oh, I saw
retweeted
that.
it, commented back and was like, you know they don't care about the fans. Oh shit. But yeah, no, it's one of those optic things, right? So you take the you change the presser to not being a backstage presser on the pay-per-view that you brought him back.
It doesn't look.
That
It
doesn't look
does
great.
not matter. It does not matter when they have that presser. It is not going to go well for them.
There's going to be those questions, and they need to understand. They need to understand that. And like me, I'm always big about just tell it like it is. We had a legend recently pass away, and I've said numerous times I would have felt better about the person if the person would have came out in public, made a public apology about what was done, and I would have been okay. Like that's it. Just own up to it. If they would have done the presser and the question got asked, like, look, you got this stuff going on, why do you hire him? If he would have said, Brock says he's innocent, and he's not the one on trial, and we don't know what those text messages said, we don't know what he's in there for, we just know the allegation that's outside those documents right now. If he comes up guilty, we'll deal with that then. Even then, that would give me a little more, like, okay, at least you thought about this. Like, at least there's some plan if this ends up going awry. But just own up to it. Don't hide from it. If you're going to do it, do it. Kind of like what's the phrase that they always say? Say it with your chest.
Say it with your whole chest.
Yeah. Yeah, talking too quick. Mike, it makes me wonder if it's what you said earlier. Triple H told TKO, you're bringing him back. I'm not dealing with those questions. I mean, that's a possibility. If TKO said, like, look, you're bringing him back, I could understand Triple H going, I ain't doing the presser then. Because then what are you going to say? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, boss made me do it.
He can't, and that's just it. He can't hide behind it.
Yeah. They'll have more plants in the next presser. Absolutely. I'm surprised they didn't do that to begin with. When I started seeing names of people that are recognized in those, seeing the Sean Ross Sapps, seeing the Denise.
I'm real interested to see who gets in their next press conference and who gets called on.
Yeah. It'll be Sam. Sam Roberts from the WWE. We know. Yes, Stampede. We know what the text messages are in there. My point being with that more is I don't want to get too into the dirt here, but he says that he didn't do anything. The text messages say he couldn't perform and that's why he didn't do anything.
I'm sorry. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm not. Just.
But what I'm saying, we don't know we don't know the middle ground as far as like, did he send that because he felt like he had to send it to like lie to his boss and be like, I don't want to do it? Because if he told Vince he didn't want to do it, how's that reaction gonna happen? Or did he send that text because he actually like, I can't do it? I like, we don't know the reasoning behind the text message. So anyway, it does though. It gives a different context. Absolutely. We'll just have to see where all that goes, obviously. But before we get too into the weeds, I'm going to go ahead and end it out. So our final word for the day, in today's tumultuous times, it's more important than ever to remember that wrestling is for everyone. And that means creating spaces where everyone feels safe, everyone feels respected, and everyone feels supported. Our community grows stronger when we stand together, hold each other accountable, and prioritize the well-being of all the people in it. Let's keep working toward that wrestling world, and a world beyond the ring that uplifts, every voice. Upload it too. Upload us, upload you, upload whatever. Catch us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, and sign up for the Kicking Attitude Discord right above my beautiful head. Make sure to go to
No, it's above your head.
w.gg. Use code KICKINGOUT for 10% off. We just tried the Dragonade today, which is delicious. I would definitely be buying another one of those. Make sure to join all of our socials. That way you can drop your thoughts, share your faves, and keep this conversation going. And in the meantime, and in between time, thank you, Jillian, for being here. Thank you, Big Mike, Stampede. I think Lady Alpha already went to sleep. She did. She did? Okay. I didn't catch her, like, I'm going to bed message. And all the other 27 people that are currently in the chat. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Catch out our cohorts and the Chair Shot Media group. It is in the description of this video. We will catch you on the next one.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out.